Hi guys, well, I shouldn't be here, but look at this, what a day. So I decided to abandon all my responsibilities today and come out on my own. Eva's gone to work, but it's just too nice to do nothing. So I've come down to South Devon on the bike and come down to show you guys what's about down here on a glorious summer's day. About 26 degrees, it's just awesome. Come with me, I'll show you about. We are at Blackpool Sands in the South Hams of Devon. So you'll find Blackpool Sands if you're coming from Exeter way. Head down the A379. I took the Kingswear to Dartmouth ferry, and then followed the A379, and we're heading down towards a really interesting place actually. It's Slapton Sands, which is just a little way down the coast down here, and it's got a lot of history down there. So I'll tell you about that when I get there, but let's enjoy just how stunning it is here. So hopefully you can see this in here, but I got cheeky enough to stick my head through the window, and it's actually a sauna. It's not somewhere to stay. I thought it was an Airbnb or something, but it's a sauna situated on the beach. Well, curiosity has got me, and the door is actually open, which is a bit careless, and it is cooking in here. I assume it's for hire somewhere, but there's nobody about. What a cool thing. But I don't fancy much of that today. It's hot enough out here. So many things I should have been doing today. I had a whole list, including getting a haircut, so you have to excuse that mess. But like I say, you just can't miss an opportunity like this, can you? England's wasted, if you ask me. If we had weather like this all year round, what an amazing place it would be to live. I mean, it's not bad now, to be fair, I'm not moaning. Blackpool Sands is a bit of an ironically named place, really, on account of the beach is actually made of this sort of stony shingle stuff, not sand. So not the best place to be in bare feet. I imagine those hot stones are pretty nasty to be walking on today. No such issue in biker boots. We're going to get back on the bike now and head along a bit further along this coast road, and I'll show you something really interesting. Right, so back on the bike, leaving Blackpool Sands. It appears to be free parking here for motorcycles. This fella showed me in there, and well, he actually told me, thank you buddy. He actually told me that there's up there number plate recognition cameras, but they can't get you on the way in because obviously we have no number plate, so that makes parking free for us bikers. So when travelling down this way in the South Hams, South Devon is gorgeous and everybody wants to come down here, but watch out for these roads because they do go from you know, one each side here, as you would expect, into single file traffic lanes, and you will get a lot of holiday makers down around there, and they're either not expecting it or don't know how to handle that. So that's definitely something that you need to watch out for, and you know, just take your time and enjoy views like that. Just fuck, look at that, amazing. Who'd have thought the English Channel could be so beautiful, eh? And the twisty roads surrounding it, not too bad either. So there's not only a lot of beauty around here and some amazing hidden coves and stunning beaches and great twisty roads, but there's also a lot of history around here as well. And the next place that I'm going to take you certainly has a lot of that, and unfortunately some of it quite sad. So I'll tell you about that when we get there. Oh, what is going on here? What are you doing? Just sit in the middle of the road, is there? Fuck me. Well, that is the trouble. Look at this cottage, it's really nice. That is the trouble around here in the summer. You will get an awful lot of holiday makers, and they will stop wherever they like, you know, on corners and all the rest of it. Stop to take a photo, or decide that they've just missed their turn and slam the anchors on. I have to say, I've been riding this Africa Twin now, I don't know, I've done about 3,000 miles on it, something like that, and I'm really enjoying this bike. Look at these views. So this is Slapton Sands Strait. But you can see, I don't know if you can see that in the distance, where they have the water at both sides of the road here. I believe that they've done flood defences and all sorts along here so many times, and I think they've almost accepted that at some point in the future this road will be lost. There are other main roads around the area to, you know, to bypass this area, but it's just so stunning around here. It really will be a shame if they lose this bit. So this is Slapton Lay Nature Reserve, known locally as the Slapton Straits or Slapton Sands. So the road runs along straight parallel to the beach and the seafront. There's a couple of places to stop, so I'll stop here in this first car park, and I think there's a couple of memorials along here as well, as a reminder as to what went on here. So I am no historian, but it's an interesting area along here. So on the 27th of April 1944, the Americans were rehearsing for the planned Normandy landings, and they decided that Slapton Sands along here was the perfect place to do that. Unfortunately, that didn't go very well. Now, I believe about 950 Americans lost their lives here. So anybody who lived in the area was actually evacuated in preparation for Operation Tiger. So they cleared the area and they prepared for Operation Tiger here, where the Americans were practicing for the Normandy D-Day landings. Unfortunately, that didn't go very well. Coming from Cherbourg, there were some U-boats from the Germans, and I'm not sure how they know about it, but they were onto it, and they managed to sink some of the American boats coming in. To make matters worse, like I say, they were planning for the Normandy D-Day, and so there were ships out on the horizon, and when the soldiers come in over the beach, the idea was that the ships were going to send their missiles and bombs up over the top in order to do damage to the area behind. Unfortunately, the Americans hit their own, and there was a lot of people killed with friendly fire. So there's a couple of memorials along here for that effect, so I'll see if I can find those for you. But it's such a shame that such a beautiful area has such dark history. But you've got to remember these things when you're here. It does make you wonder what's out there underneath the sea. The history that's buried under that water. As I say, I'm no historian, so I'm having a look online here, and it was saying that the German U-boats, or their attack craft, managed to slip in amongst Lime Bay. 2 landing ships were sunk and a 3rd badly damaged. A lack of training on the use of life vests, heavy packs and the cold water contributed to the disaster. Many men drowned or died of hypothermia before they could be rescued. Over 700 Americans lost their lives. This memorial was presented by the United States Army to remember all the people that left their homes in aid for the practice assaults for Normandy in June 1944. Wow, so that monument there was given by the Americans for the local people for leaving and abandoning their own homes and stuff. I mean, can you imagine, as if things aren't bad enough in wartime and you're under rationing and, you know, all your men have gone away and all the rest of it, but now the authorities come along and ask you to leave your farm or your house or whatever it is that you have left in the world so they can have a practice run, and it's likely they're going to bomb, you know, the entire area, and you could well come back and find your home flattened. And people got up and they left because it was their duty in the war to do what they can, the war effort. To think the things that are probably out there underneath that water and what went on, you just can't imagine it looking at that scene now. You can't imagine what actually happened here. The amount of people that lost their lives on a practice go by friendly fire. Now, towards the end of Slapton Sands, if you turn right into the last tour cross car park as I am now, you'll see another memorial to what went on here. So we're going to go along and have a look here as well. Exercise Tiger Roll of Honor. The servicemen from the United States of America are named below. So something really interesting on the front of this Sherman tank, there's a plaque for a man called Ken Small who died in 2004, and it is for his act of recovering this tank from the seabed, and he created the memorial site to remember those who lost their life in Exercise Tiger. This American Sherman tank took part in the D-Day practice landings at Slapton Beach in 1944, where it was lost at sea, and there it remained until its recovery in 1984. It stands as a memorial to the American lives lost during the course of the D-Day practice landings at Slapton Beach in 1944,